What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Trev. I am looking at Terra Station Governance Past Proposals, number 5234. Lower the tax rate to 0.2% and set aside 10% of the tax revenue to finance ecosystem infrastructure and contributors. This is a done deal. I know that everybody in the world has talked about it. Uh, I might have a slightly different slant on it. Let's check it out. All right, so inside, we open this up and we see that this proposal was submitted 8 days ago. And, this confused me. I am very conflicted about this one. I'll tell you right now, I didn't vote on it. I didn't vote yes. I didn't vote no. I didn't vote in any way, shape, or form on it because um, I don't know. I don't know if this is a good idea, not a good idea. There's no way to tell, really, if this is going to work or do what it was intended to do. I listened to an AMA with CZ not long ago, maybe a couple of weeks ago. And he said something that kind of stuck with me because it made a lot of sense to me. He was asked the question about the 1.2% burn tax and should it be changed. And his opinion was, well, I mean, basically, and they were talking about, if he was going to implement it off chain, and that was an unequivocal no. He wasn't going to do that because he felt that the tax was killing uh, transactions, right? Was killing volume, and that it would really kill volume on Binance if he were to implement it, and no one else did, right? Or even anybody else out there didn't implement it. Everybody would go and trade there, and it would kill volume on Binance. So he said that his opinion was that there's probably a sweet spot, okay? Because fact, once we implemented the 1.2% burn tax, volume has dropped like 90 something percent, okay? Are the two things correlated? Is it cause and effect? I mean, it seems that way, right? Volume is what volume is what it was. Then we enacted the thing. It was only like a month ago, 3 weeks, 4 weeks ago, and volume dropped like crazy. Well, did volume drop everywhere? Is the whole market down? There's a lot of other things you can point to say, well, it's not really a cause and effect kind of thing, but a lot of people think that it is. So anyway, CZ suggested that there is a sweet spot. Okay, so if 1.2% tanks the volume that much, then you got to find that spot. Not getting rid of the tax, but you got to find that spot where you're still burning an acceptable amount of LUNC, but you're not burning. There's not so much tax that it kills the volume. Okay, like where will the volume come back? Well, um, to me, and this is just how my mind works. Well, if we're at 1.2 and we don't want to go to zero, and we're throwing spaghetti at the wall to see what's going to stick and try to find the sweet spot, I would have thought maybe start in the middle, right? 0.6%. But what do I know? Okay. The authors of this proposal said 90% is a huge drop. And so we need to drop the percentage of the tax hugely to bring back the volume. So we went straight to 2%. I don't know if that's going to work. I'm not saying it is. I'm not saying it isn't. I'm saying I truly don't know. And so how could I vote on it? Um, I don't know. But anyway, we're here. And one of the things that confused me is that we generally have, because I didn't vote on it, I really didn't even go to Terra Station and look at this. I'll admit it, right? I mean, I get busy. I'm sorry, right? But we generally have a text proposal. And then sometime after the text proposal, after a little bit of debate and tweaking or whatever, we see the parameter change proposal, which actually puts the proposal, if it's passed, it puts the proposal into effect, right? As soon as the blockchain hits, whatever height, all of a sudden, boom, what we proposed actually becomes law, right? We didn't get a text proposal on this one, and I assumed that this was the text proposal. I even said something this morning in Matt's live stream. I was texting about it, and someone had to correct me and said no. This has already gone through. We're just waiting for the right block. I'm like, really? So I had to go on, and I noticed that it is indeed a parameter change proposal. And I went back and I'm like, did I miss something? Have I really been working that much that I totally missed the text proposal? But if you look at all the text proposals, there was no text proposal on this one, okay? And so, all right, if we go to, for instance, right, with the parameter change 4661, when we went to 1.2% tax burn, that was a month ago, right? With 3568. 3568 submitted by Vegas was the text proposal talking about this 1.2% burn tax, right? We passed it. This was 5 months ago. This was before governance was even established, before we could even really officially vote on something with validators and delegation and all that. Okay, so 5 months ago, this came onto Terra Station. We voted yes, and then 4 months later, we got the actual parameter change. And I know we had to wait for governance and all that. Okay, right? But we got just a month ago, we got the governance or the parameter change proposal and implemented the 1.2. So it's been 3 or 4 weeks that we've had the 1.2, and we are dropping in that short amount of time to 0.2% without even talking about it, is what it feels like. Because there was no text proposal, right, that we could vote on and then chat about it and whatever. They moved straight to parameter proposal. I don't know if you guys are aware of what Agora is. I think a lot of you are. I think a lot of you aren't. Okay, maybe you've heard of it, but you've never really been there. Well, I think that everybody, every one of you, should get used to visiting Agora. And I'm speaking for myself as much as I am you, because I am just as guilty of not going there anywhere near as much as I probably should. Okay, and it is classic. If you can see my title bar, my address bar, classic-agora.terra.money. Okay, don't go to agora.terra.money, because that will bring you to Luna 2, right? So classic. And if you go here, these proposals and there's a lot of discussions here. A lot of times these proposals that hit Terra Station, they come here first, and they are worked out, they're talked about, they're chatted about, they're tweaked. This is where the developers, the proposers, the community, everyone can come and be aware of what's happening, right? So what I found unique about this is that, or interesting, is that the discussion, remember, it was 8 days ago that parameter proposal hit Terra Station, right? Well, if you click in here, this is the discussion on that, right? And I'm going to slide this up to the beginning, October 10th. Today's October 18th. So 8 days ago, this hit Agora, classic Agora. And at the same time, almost simultaneously, it was instantly on Terra Station. This thing was slammed through. Okay? Validators knew about it. A lot of people, knew about it maybe ahead of time, but Akajiro put this thing up to really be examined at the same time that he put it up to be voted on. And we had, the 6 days or whatever to vote on it. But was that enough? Did a lot of us even know it was there? I didn't know it was there as a parameter proposal until like yesterday, the day before yesterday. Uh, I don't know. So all right, a big part of this, the 10%, is to go into a community pool. So that's 10% of the tax revenue. Whatever we collect off of the 0.2% that it will now be, because it is passed and we're just, it is what it is, right? So 10% of that tax revenue will go into a community pool, which will be used for, as it says, ecosystem infrastructure, development of an ecosystem, and to compensate the contributors, the developers who actually brought us this far, the Terra Rebels, right? I am all for compensating these guys. All for it. All for paying them. I've been saying it since my very first interview with them, which was, I believe, the very first interview they had ever done with anybody, right? So it was a few months ago. I said, I think you guys deserve to be paid. You deserve to be compensated for what you're doing, because they were all volunteers. And up to this point, they've still all been volunteering. These guys deserve to get paid. Did that need to be in this proposal attached to dropping this thing 6x? You know what I mean? From 1.2 all the way down to 2? That might have frightened some people off. But I don't know if this was strategic or if it's just the way my mind works and the way I'm perceiving it. But it looks like, I don't think anybody would really disagree with the fact that these guys who have been volunteering, and some of them in some cases are having some financial issues right now because they haven't really been working for the last 4 months or so while they've been working on this, right? Some of them have been keeping their jobs and doing this on their off time. They're getting very little sleep. Listen, your families, your relationships, everything starts to suffer, right? I don't think there's anybody that disagrees they should be paid. So I feel like putting that in this proposal was almost a guilt thing, because look at this, all right? So results of voting, yes, equals lower but not remove the tax and use some of the revenue to finance necessary blockchain infrastructure and the teams maintaining the blockchain. Okay? They put that right in there. No means make no changes to the tax percentage and do not set aside any tax revenue for the teams maintaining the blockchain, the validators, or finance infrastructure necessary to upkeep the blockchain through tax revenue. Okay, so the validators, the contributors, the developers, all those people, we all believe that they should be paid. And the way that this is worded feels like guilting me into voting for this proposal, just on that basis. I don't know why that needed to be a part of this proposal. Why couldn't we have had another proposal on the 1.2% or on the 0.6% or on whatever you wanted to make it, right? Why couldn't we have had another proposal just stand alone that said, hey, let's take 10% of what we have right now, or, it was 1.2%. So even if we took, 2% or 3% or whatever of that, right? And put that in the community pool for these purposes. I'm just not comfortable, I guess, with the way that this was rammed through. All right. And I will tell you right now, if I had been paying attention, and I wasn't paying attention as much as I should have been, because I've been crazy with work. I'm sorry. I know it sounds like an excuse, but it's just the way it is this time of year, right? I'm definitely not paying attention as much as I really would love to be paying attention. But had I been paying attention 8 days ago, I would have said this then. Now, what I've noticed over the last couple of days is a lot of other YouTubers who are coming out kind of against this 0.2% tax, and talking about how it's not going to make any difference at all. And basically it was a bad idea, right? It's too much. It's too much of a drop. It's not going to do anything for volume. Some have gone as far as to say, what we needed to do was just, uh, bring utility and do these things and keep it at 1.2% so that we could burn it off. Um, where were you guys also 8 days ago, 9 days ago, whatever it was? Where were you guys? How come after this is already passed, now everybody's coming out against it? And I include myself in that. And I'm telling you, I really wish I had done it differently. Okay. But some of these guys are on Agora all the time. This is what they do for a living. They're constantly monitoring this stuff. And nobody that I heard was really complaining about. I can't say nobody because I don't know. Maybe there's someone out there that was, but I didn't hear any complaints about this thing or anything about it at all until after the fact. Here's the thing, right? All of you guys, everybody that's watching right now, you've got to go to Agora, Classic Agora, keep up on this stuff yourselves. Don't wait for us because we're not always on time with it. Go to Agora. You can get in the Terra Rebels Discord. There are various Telegram groups you can get in. Almost every day, if not every day, there's a Twitter space you can join. Listen to what's going on. Stay up on this stuff. I implore you, don't vote at the last minute because it's what your favorite YouTuber said to do. Vote yes or vote no. Or because whatever reason, whatever reasons other than you researched it, you learned about it, you came up with your own conclusion, and you voted your heart. All right. So right now we have 0.2%. How long are we going to wait? We waited 3-4 weeks on the 1.2% to say now let's change it. And honestly, people have been wanting to change it from jump because a lot of people didn't believe in it. Right? We've had some Terra Rebels on my channel and in the Discord and everywhere else say the tax is not a good idea. It's not going to do what you think it's going to do. And even this proposal says that it's going to take, what did it say? I can't find it right now, between 30 and 60 years or something like that, the burn tax to actually get down to that 10 billion supply. So keep up on this stuff yourselves, guys. You have to. It's really the only way that you really can feel comfortable, I think, about your vote, right? Anyway, I don't know. Again, yeah, this is definitely me rambling, but I'm sorry. What you get from me is always just real. It's just what's coming out of my head at the moment. I don't plan this stuff out. I don't script it out. That's not what you get from me. And I told you at the beginning, I'm just conflicted about a lot of this, right? So we're at 0.2% right now. How long are we going to wait? Which is where I started. I don't know, I feel like, and maybe it's just aggravation or whatever, but I feel like, well, if we only gave 1.2% 3 or 4 weeks, then we should give this 3 or 4 weeks too, right? And if it doesn't work, then throw a dart, put a bunch of numbers, 0.3, 0.4, 0.5, 0.6, put all the numbers on the wall and throw a dart, and whichever one you hit, let's go with that, right? Let's find that sweet spot. I mean, I don't really know another way to do it. I guess this is the way to do it. Maybe 0.2 will work. Maybe all of a sudden in the next 3 or 4 weeks, we will see the volume skyrocketing. I don't know. If we go to Terra Station and we look at it, we see that it passed with 74, almost 75% yes, right? Well, who voted on it as far as the validators? Well, we can see who did not vote on it. Interstellar Lounge didn't vote. Thorchain didn't vote. Staking.com, right? You can go through the list. Who did vote? Who voted yes? All nodes with 18.6% voting power voted yes. Orion Money with 10.63% voting power voted yes. KuCoin, StakeBin, Panama Flower, and there's 3 pages of them here who voted yes, and you can go through and check it out. See, the thing is, validators take a little fee every time they do their block thing, right? And when there is less volume, there's less for them to do, and there's less for them to take a fee from. volume dipped 90%, 90 something percent when we got to the 1.2% tax. So these validators must be hurting. If they get to the point where it's not profitable, they're going to end up shutting down. And if you have enough of them shut down, there aren't enough left to maintain the blockchain. The whole blockchain freezes up. And that means anybody who has money on chain or has LUNC on chain, you can't do anything with it. You can't withdraw it. You can't do anything with it because the block is just frozen, right? So these guys, we need to get the volume up. We need to get these guys, paid for the job that they're doing as well. Taking that 10% hopefully will go a long way to keeping the block secure and these guys all paid. But who abstained? Let's look at who abstained. Lunk DAO didn't vote. They abstained. Well, their vote was abstain, which is neither a yes or no, right? BTC abstained. Lunk Station abstained. Zero Node, Orbital Command abstained. Lunatics Token abstained. 8moon abstained. And I abstained. I mean, I didn't vote at all because I just don't know if this is the right thing to do. Once we check this out for a little while, 0.2, maybe I'll have a better idea. Now I'll know what happened at 1.2, and then I'll know what happened at 0.2. So maybe that'll give me a better idea for the next proposal that comes up that drops it to 0.1 or brings it up to 0.5 or whatever, we'll have a better idea. No, nobody voted no. No with veto, we had one. Who was it? Vegas. Of course. I mean, did you expect anything else? He is the author of the 1.2% burn tax. So basically, we just voted over the last 8 days to undo everything that he worked to get done, and everything that we voted for and waited for the past 3, 4, 5 months. I don't even know. I'm losing track. We voted to just change it all. Okay. So Vegas voted no with veto, but he was the only one. So this is what we have now. I hope it works. Good luck to you. Good luck to me. Good luck to everybody. But let's keep an eye on it. And guys, go use these resources, okay? Agora Station, the Terra Rebels Discord, Lunk Penguins is a great resource, okay? So much information that you can get here, and it stays up to date all the time. Binance right now at 11 billion with burning, okay? They've been doing their weekly burns or whatever. How long they're going to do that, I'm not sure. The burn tax itself has burned 6.5 billion. Lunatics Token is still in the lead as far as all of the other burn initiatives, at 2 billion. All these seem to have slowed down an awful lot as far as the burn goes, but the volume is way, way down. So what are you going to do? All right. Sorry about all the ranting. I really, really am. I'm going to go. You can probably hear in my voice. It's late. I'm tired, but I really wanted to get this out. So thank you so much for watching. If you watched to the end and stuck with me, I really appreciate you. Please hit the like button on your way out. If you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment in the comment section. Have a great night. All right, y'all. Ciao.